come back. I mean, I think one of the great things about TTIP, because there is something really wonderful about TTIP, is it's so bad in so many directions, and it does give us an opportunity to unite a genuinely big movement to say, no, we don't believe in the principles behind it. And I completely agree. It's absolutely the same with fracking. You know, for them, they have no interest in any of the environmental consequences. It's purely about profit.
Yes.
It's about profit in the health system. It's about profit in education. It's about profit in water. It's profit before everything else. And we basically unite our movement, saying, no, we don't believe in that, because we have higher aspirations on all of those different fields. And I completely agree with the person who came up and said, you know, look down into the vote, look down into the statement. It must be about no to TTIP, no to CETA, and yes to a proper set of principles that we can believe in well beyond the profit motive. The politics, the question which about the trade unions, which the fellow there asked about. For us, we had long discussions within Unite. Unite is my trade union, and there was a really difficult moment earlier on, let's say 7-8 months ago, when Unite was being courted by the European Commission. They had secret meetings with the highest officials within Unite, because of course Unite is a big conglomerate trade union representing the automotive sector and the health sector and a whole lot of others like myself. And the European Commission came along and said, you'd be crazy to be against TTIP because it's going to offer more jobs in the car industry. And that's a big industry within Unite. And it was as a result of a lot of really good and constructive discussions within Unite that we got them to come off the fence and to say, that's unacceptable. We're going to say no as a trade union. So Unite, the executive at the top of Unite put a motion forward to its own conference saying we need to be totally against TTIP. It then took it into the TUC, and so the TUC at its September Congress last year passed a motion of outright opposition to TTIP. And that's really important because in the past, the TUC has not taken those positions on trade agreements like this. But even though it's a good thing, you're absolutely right. We are not in a position to rest on our laurels and think, oh good, that means they're going to be pressing that hard. And particularly from the TUC's position. They don't like being in a position where they should stand up to the Labour Party. You know, we've had it said quite openly by some of the people within the TUC, the National Department, that they're actually here predominantly to get Labour in. We say, well, you can do that, but give us a Labour Party which we can believe in. Not a Labour Party which can say so I think for us, it's about continuing the struggle at all the different parts. One tiny little extra thing to say on that, the European Trade Union Confederation. If you think that our trade unions form into the TUC, all the TUCs across Europe form into the ETUC. They have a congress every 4 years, and that quadrennial congress is this year, September, in Paris. And they're currently finalising the manifesto from now, May, June, is going to be their finalisation of the manifesto on this. We desperately need the ETUC to say no to TTIP. They have said no to CETA, the Canadian deal, but they're not saying no to TTIP. And again, for them, it's all about politics. But with all of this, whether it's the trade unions or the Labour Party, they don't make these choices just because it comes to them. They make it as a result of pressure from us. And you've already seen that Labour is running scared on the NHS. And on the NHS and TTIP, they're the ones who say we're desperately trying to make this happen. We just need to keep the pressure up from all corners, from all sides, and then we can make sure that they can't wheedle their way out of it by saying we've had a commitment from a nice person in Brussels that somehow the future's rosy. No, we need it to be absolutely clear. Don't get anywhere with any of these deals. That's the only way to protect the NHS. It's the only way to protect other public services, by having that pressure from below.